Hiya, I'm Jasper, and welcome to your video review for Shazam! Fury of the Gods. So, as always, I'm going to give the good, the bad, and the furry. To start off the furry, if you like Greek mythological animals, you are in luck, because they make a pretty decent appearance, I would say, so you can look forward to that. But moving on to the good and the bad. So this movie stars basically everybody from the same one. I think like one of the actors might have been swapped out, or yeah, and then yeah. So actors from the first one, and then Helen Mirren, and then they also bring back a character who I had really hoped that this character would get more screen time, and they definitely satisfied my desire for that. So good job, filmmakers, finally coming to your senses about that character and that actor. So, this movie is, I think, like a couple years have passed since the first one in the in-universe time frame, and it's just you had to I say you had to watch the first one to kind of understand what's going on, but at the same time, you kind of don't. I watched the first one when it first came out. I haven't seen it since then. And you know what they do? They do this beautiful, like, it works very much within the story, but a beautiful, quick summary of all the relevant things that happened from the first one. And I love how they did it. I love how they integrated it. It's not just some, like, narrator narrating things, and it's not some, like, text scroll at the beginning summarizing the things. But it was also just, it was integrated without, I didn't feel like it was clunky dialogue. I thought that it worked quite nicely with the scene and with the character, and I think that it actually was even like a character building moment. So I liked that. I liked the characters. Oh, there was also Lucy Liu in this. So there's that. I really liked the characters in this. I thought that, I mean, with how, okay, so if you've seen Shazam 1, you know that they have like their kid selves and then the superhero selves, and trying to give enough screen time to the different superhero selves and not superhero selves as necessary could definitely be a challenge with that many. I mean, you basically have at least 12 plus the villains plus the like parent people. So you have a lot of cast to try and have character development for and have meaningful participation within the story. And I think they accomplished that. Yes, there was definitely a focus on a couple particular characters, but I still think that they gave enough to the other ones that they each had their moments, and I enjoyed it. The CGI was great. I liked the some of the effects that they had for the. I don't want to say what the effects are, but the things that happened later on, I liked their interpretation of those for how to portray those on screen, and I thought they did a good job with that. I'm not going to say any more on that subject, but just know CGI is on point, really, works really well. And Helen Mirren, always a win. She absolutely kills it. Lucy Liu, I'm not as big of a fan of, but I don't really know why, because Charlie's Angels was fun and Kill Bill was fun, but maybe it's just because I only remember her in those, and I wasn't a huge fan overall of the Charlie's Angels movie, and then she was a bad guy in Kill Bill, so maybe that's why. Maybe that's where I'm coming from. It's just like, she's a bad guy. And you know what? She's a bad guy in this one, too. So, keep at it, because you do it really well. Yeah, so fun time, and the music swells when it needs to, but it's not as memorable as Avatar, but I think that it was an appropriate use of the music. Good job there. And if you didn't like the first one, if you didn't like how the humor was portrayed in that one, like the funny, the quibby bits, just the general comedic tone while there's still serious stuff going on, if you didn't like how the first one was integrated, I got bad news for you. You're not going to like this movie. I loved the first movie, and I love when sequels have, when original movies have like a particular thing that they do and how they're telling the story, and they do it really well. And I love when a sequel continues that feel, but still makes things better and still progresses, which I think is a really hard thing to do, because some of the times you'll have like Venom, where awesome first movie, and then the second movie is just like, we're just going to repeat the first movie and hope you don't notice. No, that was garbage. But this movie, it expands and does other things, but still keeps the fun nature of it without and I know this is going to sound weird to say because I said quippy, but it doesn't feel like a Marvel movie. So it doesn't have the like out of character quips. I think that the quips match. It works. Kind of like how in the like first Avengers and before, the quippy things from the characters in, from the first Avengers movie and before, and maybe even all the way up to the second or third Avengers, but definitely the first Avengers and before, like the quips that the characters did, they made sense with what their character was and what they were doing. And this one does make sense for what the characters are and what they're doing for the quips. And I think that I had a fun time. I think that the only thing that I really didn't like about this movie is that if you remember Suicide Squad, not the Suicide Squad, but Suicide Squad, the first one, if you will, not the soft reboot. In that first one, they had the like, oh hey, we're gonna have to fight the bubbly face guys with our bats and our like handguns to give us something to do, or like in Shazam, where like Skateboard Kid and the populace had to fight. I don't remember what hell demons or whatever they things like. Like you have underpowered characters fighting other minion underpowered characters to give them something to do and feel all heroic. I will say that there was a little bit of that, and I feel like if they had cut out just that little bit, then I think it would have been I think it would have been better. But overall, just that little bit, I don't think that they spent too much time on that to make me go like, it made me go like, all right, here we go, here's that part. But I think that it's kind of like Marvel's Avengers Endgame, where they're like, she doesn't, she's not alone, she has help, and then it has like girl power moment, and then they go back to like having a logical fight. I think that it's sort of like that. Obviously it lasts like slightly longer for the minions fighting minions thing, but just overall, that little scene didn't ruin my overall enjoyment of Endgame, and this little bit that I think that they should have cut out didn't ruin my overall enjoyment of this movie. So, excellent movie for what it's trying to be, and I really liked the solutions and problems and how they advanced things. I liked it. It was definitely a super fun time, and I think that I'm going to remember it as much as I remember the first movie. So, yeah, 2 thumbs up. One last thing. And I'm not going to Google it, but I had no idea what the fuck was up with that, like, after credit sequence. I don't understand that at all. It's referencing something that I have no idea, so whatever, cool. There is an after credit sequence, so just stay for the after credits. That's all I'm going to say, but I didn't know what the fuck that meant by that, so neat. But yeah, great movie, fun overall. That's all I have for this one. Thanks for coming, thanks for watching, hope to see you the next one. Bye.